The construction of the CMP Corridor will continue, but a decision on whether to shut it down is likely to come later this month. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill in for Cindy Williams.
And I'm Pat Callahan. That word came a short time ago from the Maine Department of Environmental Protection. It is just the latest development in a very busy week for the corridor project, a week when opponents won a solid victory at the polls, saying they want that corridor stopped.
News Center Maine's Don Kerrigan is here to fill us in. Don.
Hi, Amanda and Pat. The DEP told us just a short time ago that it will consider the results of this week's referendum vote as it makes a decision whether or not to suspend the permit for the corridor project. Now, that process has been ongoing since August, a result of the issue over public lands. But the DEP commissioner says she will make a decision this time before the end of November. And if they do decide to suspend the permit, construction would have to stop.
Suspending the corridor project would be a huge blow to Avangrid and the NECEC, which have already spent at least $350 million on the work, according to the last comments from the company. It would mean stopping contractors and sending hundreds of workers home. But corridor opponents told a press conference Tuesday's vote means that is exactly what should happen.
It's time for the DEP to prioritize environmental protection over foreign corporate interests. CMP is plowing through the Upper Kennebec region with no public lands lease and without the approval of Maine voters.
The Maine DEP still hasn't decided on an earlier request to stop the project. That one came after a judge ruled in August the corridor did not have a legal permit to cross public land. That process has lasted more than 2 months. On Thursday, the lawyer for corridor opponents asked the DEP to immediately suspend the company's permit because of the law passed by voters, something he told us the day before.
So I expect late December, early January is when it will become effective. And that's why I say between now and then, to let CMP continue to construct when at that point they're barred from doing anything would be a travesty.
Avangrid and the NECEC have said they should be allowed to keep working while the court challenge to the law goes through the process.
In the end, all those regulatory proceedings said this is good for the climate and good for the economy here in Maine.
But opponents have now focused all of their pressure on the DEP commissioner, the only person other than the judge who could order work to stop now.
It's time for CMP to do right by the state and by their own customers. So we urge CMP to stop construction now.
Now, the DEP commissioner says that the agency will also consider the request that was just filed yesterday from the lawyer for the Natural Resources Council of Maine to immediately stop construction on the project. They'll consider it, but there will not be an immediate decision. Instead, they will give both sides opportunities to make comments and will hold a new public hearing on November 22nd, but promised a decision will be made shortly after that. That isn't what, of course, as you just heard, the opponents want, but it is a faster process than the one they're in right now. Of course, while all this is happening, the Superior Court will also decide when to take up the request by Avangrid and the NECEC to block the new law from taking effect. So there's a lot going to happen over the next couple of months about the fate of the corridor project. Amanda, back to you.
Don Kerrigan, thank you.